Okay, it is 7 o'clock. We will call the meeting to order. Welcome to those on the telephone. This is a regular meeting of Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West, held in Council Chambers at 216 Main Street West, Swan River, Manitoba, this 24th day of May 2022 at 7 p.m. Present in Chambers, myself, Deputy Reeve Bill Galloway, Councillors Foster and Pierrepont. Joining us on the telephone, Councillor Kushniryk, and absent with prior notice, Councillor Wills. We also have our CAO James Webb and Jeremy Bergen, who is doing a podcast. First resolution, be it resolved that notice of absence submitted by Council Member Matt Wills regarding the regular meeting of Council held this 24th day of May 2022 shall be accepted as received. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Foster, seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried.
We can hardly hear you, Tyler.
Next resolution, be it resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of Council held this 24th day of May 2022 shall be adopted as presented. Moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. Any additions requested? Not, we'll call the question. All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried. Next resolution, be it resolved that the minutes of the regular council meeting held on May 10th, the public hearing held on May 13th, and the special meeting held on May 13th, 2022 be adopted as presented. A mover for those?
Yes.
Moved by Councillor Kushniryk, seconded by Councillor Foster. Are there any errors or omissions? There being none, we'll call the question. All in favor? All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried. Public Works, anything there to report?
Roads are tightening up after 3 days of sunshine, which is a good thing to see. We're still looking to apply some emergency gravel to cover up erosions, soft spots, and to clean out some culverts to keep the water flowing. Graders are out. They're going to be working extended days as much as possible to get things caught up, but I think a couple of weeks we won't even recognize the place. If you got any special requests, whether it's councillors or ratepayers, just call the office. We'll follow up on them.
Okay, thank you. It truly was unfortunate that we had spring breakup and then 3 or 4 days of rain, up to 3 inches in some areas. The roads certainly deteriorate during breakup without all of the additional rain, but hopefully now we can get them back into shape. Thank you for that. Anything under delegations or petitions?
No, nothing.
Okay, move on to 7.1. The resolution reads, be it resolved that bylaw number 0096-22, being a bylaw of the Municipality of Swan Valley West for the purpose to amend bylaw number 0079-19, itself being a bylaw regarding the remuneration of members of council, shall be introduced and read a second time this 24th day of May 2022. The mover, please. Moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Foster. Any discussion? Not, to call the question. All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried. Next resolution, be it resolved that bylaw number 0096-22, being a bylaw of the Municipality of Swan Valley West, for the purpose to amend bylaw number 0079-19, itself being a bylaw regarding the remuneration of members of council, shall be introduced and read a third time this 24th day of May 2022. Do we have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Pierrepont, seconded by
Kushniryk.
Councillor Kushniryk. Any discussion? This has to be recorded now.
Yes.
Okay, we will call a recorded vote. Councillor Kushniryk,
Yes.
Councillor Pierrepont,
Yes.
Councillor Blosha,
Yes.
Councillor Foster,
Yes, yes.
and yes for myself. Resolution is carried. Okay, I don't have anything under building bylaw number 0088-21. Should we have?
Yes, there, oh, goodness, yeah, there should be. It's just, I guess it was there and then taken off. Sorry about that, folks.
Do you have it on yours there?
No, I'm just getting it. Glenn will be the only one that has it.
The next one is the same as well.
Is this so?
Copy of it? No.
No, that's not.
Okay, it should be there, just refresh. So 88-21, the bylaws attached, and then also 99-22, there's a bylaw attached. And this is more for information tonight, just to look it over.
Did you get Bill? There's one.
Oh, that's the old one.
Yeah, that's all that came through.
Should be 39 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another deal, showing a
There
resolution.
is no resolution for it.
No resolution, no, just for information. Yeah.
Okay, so you all have now been supplied a copy of it, so after we leave here, you can peruse it, and we will deal with it at the next meeting. The same then about the building permit fees.
Yep.
It is 6 pages long by the looks of it. So again, you can peruse it at your leisure. And be dealt with at the next regular meeting. Maybe we'll move into financial items then. Next resolution reads, be it resolved that Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments. General Cheques number 17805 to 17831 in the amount of $73,011.18. Mover, please. Moved by Councillor Foster, seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. Any questions on that list?
Just give me a minute.
17812.
What is it, 178?
12.
12?
Oh, snow fence.
Is that
Oh,
what it is?
She does it every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, snow fence.
Good.
he's very,
Sorry, James. I just-
That's good,
I just know that one.
Yeah, I just had
It's
to
a,
pull that up.
it's a yearly one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
it's very reasonable what he does there.
Taking down fence, wasn't it? Snow fence?
He puts it up
Puts it up,
every
takes it down.
fall and takes it down.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Not, we'll call the question. All in favor?
Yes.
Councillor Kushniryk, did you hear the question?
Yep.
You're in
Patrick,
favor?
yes.
Okay, that is carried. Next is 8.2. The resolution reads, be it resolved that Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments. Payroll payments, checks number 4114 to 4127 in the amount of $19,511.26. Mover, please. Moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. Any questions on that list? There being none, we'll call the question. All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried. Moving on to number 9.
Just have to refresh again the purchasing policy.
Okay. There's no resolution to deal with this
No.
evening then either, so
No.
again,
Discussion?
review it at your leisure and be prepared to deal with it at the next meeting. Okay, move on to number 9.2, budgeted donations. Nothing under there?
No, that's just basically, we've done this a couple different ways. We budget to give grants and donations, and there's some that are pretty standard, like the cemeteries and that. Is that something that you want to approve as a whole, or because it's approved on the budget, when those requests come in, I write the check? Just how do you want to handle that? How's the best way to handle that? Just often different opinions on it, so.
I guess the thing with having them brought to council table for consent of council to pass them out, it allows council members to be kept abreast of who is receiving the grants and when they are receiving them.
Okay.
Plus you also need the paperwork, right?
Yeah, it's
That
nice to have the
request
paperwork.
anyways.
Yes.
So I would think that even though it's been suggested before that their budget, they should just go out, it kind of leaves council out of the loop as to when and who are receiving.
Yes, the only way you really know is by looking at the checklist every time, and sometimes it's missed on those, so we'll bring it forward as they come.
Okay, if there's nothing further under number 9,
Well,
we'll-
just one other thing, like the cemeteries, maybe it would be the exception to that, because the cemeteries, they, kind of carry on.
We don't require letters for those.
Those are sort of just a function of the municipality, so that would be the other factor in there that's really not a donation or a grant. It's $500. But if you wanted me to highlight those when they come due, I will do that as well.
We'll just put the list together and then, yeah,
Okay.
the public knows them.
Yes. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, moving on to number 10, 10.1, hydro under Road 171.
I think there's a permitting process, but as part of the permitting, when we do either dig through a road or trench underneath the road, just want the municipality council to know that if they have any trouble with it.
Do they usually directional bore or what?
They can do it either way.
Because directional boring certainly wouldn't disrupt the
No.
surface of the road at all.
Right.
Would be the preferred method in my mind.
They probably will in that.
This road here is not a heavily used road, just field access, but it's good for us to all know and to,
But is it?
It's going under a heavily used road.
It's going under 201, right?
Yeah.
no, well,
By the,
Yeah,
That's-
the big,
well,
by
it
the
says it
picture it
is.
shows it is.
that'll be proposed hydro line, it'll be overhead to the driveway.
Oh,
on
so it's-
170. So all those are posts there, and then it goes under the road at 171, actually, yeah.
So it's posts all the way down to his driveway?
That's right, John.
Oh, yeah, so it's actually,
Just
Overhead.
across, just, yeah,
so it's
overhead.
actually
Oh,
not,
it's just,
it's not, no,
yeah.
there's no
Mhm.
posts across. the-
No, that's not too.
That road isn't used very much, but it's, I just wanted to make sure that we were below the ditch, far enough, because that'll be the low point. And then he'll take it right down his driveway because of the trees. So whether he directional bores, it'll be underneath his driveway, or if he digs it up, it'll be digging his driveway up,
Yeah.
that type of thing, and then goes north in his yard, so.
Gee, if hydro go down that side of the road, they're gonna have to scrub it on that east side.
Yeah, that's what I figured, so.
Yeah,
Good for us.
yeah.
Okay, so no troubles with that, I will proceed with that.
Turns it into a pretty livable space, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next is a letter from the Benito and Area Drop-In Center. You all have a copy of it there. A minute to read it. They're asking for $1,000 to go towards graveling the back entrance parking area. And to purchase landscape rocks for the side of the building. And purchasing flower pots from a local greenhouse for the front entrance.
It's a pretty active place there, it is. There's
Do we, doesn't look like we have a resolution now to,
I can write this up right quick here.
okay.
This is right on Main Street, video.
Yeah, right across from pharmacy.
Right next to the grocery store.
In between the grocery store and Snyder's there, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, here it's ready for your reading.
Okay, resolution reads, be it resolved that Council of Swan Valley West approve the request by the Benito and Area Drop-In Center for a grant of $1,000 towards upgrading the center. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Foster, second by Councillor Blosha. Any discussion?
There was
Not?
just that, whether, we do have flowers.
Yeah, that would be just something, maybe if you could tell them that
There's
we do
available.
have 2 flower pots that could
I
go in
think-
the front.
Okay,
Oh, do we have pots as well?
They're potted, yeah.
so we'll just tell them that
They're
those
ready
are
to go.
available. Okay, sounds good, yep, thanks, Gary.
Okay, no further questions or comments? All in favor? Councillor Kushniryk?
Yes.
And that is carried. .3, a letter from our MP. Regarding funding of the RCMP, the new agreement that was reached, and he believes that the federal government should fund the entire increase. So that is for information only. Do we have anything under unfinished business?
We don't.
Outside of announcing the fact that both bridges are now complete and open. I don't know whether we mentioned that at our last meeting or not, and currently waiting for contractor to apply asphalt to the tops. Okay, we'll move on to committee reports then. Councillor Kushniryk.
Okay, I honestly can't remember if there was anything in the last couple of weeks.
There's public hearing.
Special meeting, public meeting. Public hearing and special meeting, I guess, would be the 13th.
Yes, nope, you're right.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Foster.
And public hearing and that special meeting, airport meeting. Had lots of repair requests. Road washed out and that there, had to set barricades up. But I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Pierrepont.
I had the same thing, the special meeting, and the meeting, I had a settlement service AGM meeting. That went really well. Meeting with Minnetonka's Bozeman on shared services. And I think that was a very good meeting, and that they really look forward to being able to work with us. And same thing, washouts and bad roads. And we're slowly getting those cleaned up.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Blosha.
I had a public hearing meeting, special meeting, LUD meeting, and a few calls.
Okay, thank you. As far as myself, I too attended a public hearing and a special meeting. Meeting with Minnetonka's Bozeman. Airport Commission meeting. And dealing with ratepayer requests. Yourself, Mr. Webb?
I had public hearing, special meeting, Minnetonka's Bozeman meeting, as well as dealing with ratepayers' requests.
And LUD.
The LUD, yes, last week, that's right, yes.
Okay, thank you.
I just got to update this.
Yeah.
Kicking and screaming.
Carrie, you had public hearing, special
I
meeting?
had public hearing, special meeting, LUD, and just a few phone calls.
Okay. All right, let's try that in a second. All right.
Okay, the resolution reads, be it resolved that we do hereby accept the following verbal reports regarding council committees and communications. Councillor Kushniryk, public hearing and special meeting. Councillor Bilasha, public hearing, special meeting, LUD meeting and phone calls. Councillor Pierrepont, public hearing, special meeting, settlement services, Minnetonka Bozeman meeting, ratepayer requests. Councillor Gade, Councillor Foster, public hearing, special meeting and airport meeting. Myself, public meeting, special meeting, Minnetonka Bozeman meeting, airport meeting, and ratepayer requests. Our CAO dealt with or attended. Public hearing, special meeting, Minnetonka Bozeman meeting, and the LUD meeting as well as dealing with ratepayer requests. The mover, please. Moved by Councillor Foster, seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried. Hey, we have come to the point on our agenda where we will open the line to a question or a comment with regard to anything that was discussed in tonight's agenda prior to us going in camera. Is there anyone with a question or a comment?
Nothing from me tonight. I think you've done well.
Thank you.
I was hoping you could briefly touch on the summary of the Dan Major's letter, what that was regarding.
It was in regard to the new contract that was signed by the government and the police force. I'll read it, it's not that long, if that's okay.
Sure.
As you are aware, in August of 2021, the first ever collective bargaining was announced between the federal government and the National Police Federation. The agreement that was reached included a significant increase in pay for RCMP officers and retroactive pay going back to 2017. I firmly believe that the men and women who protect our communities should be compensated fairly. I also believe that the right to collective bargain should be upheld. The announced contract resulted in a substantial financial impact on municipalities due to their responsibility to pay a significant share of RCMP services. I find it deeply troubling to learn that your government failed to engage with the municipalities responsible for funding of this agreement. The news comes at a time when rural crime is rising, criminals are deliberately preying on vulnerable individuals and families in rural areas, knowing that RCMP response times are highly delayed. The financial burden that your government has placed on the rural Manitoba communities that I represent is much more significant than you advised them to expect. As such, many were unable to budget their finances properly. Now, many communities are faced with two disturbing options. They can either increase revenue through unexpected tax hikes or decrease expenses by cutting the critical services that are already stretched to their limits. Significant tax hikes will only add more fuel to the affordability crisis sweeping families across the nation, and reducing RCMP services will only intensify the rural crime crisis that your government has also failed to address. For these reasons, my Conservative colleagues and I call on your government to absorb all one-time municipal retroactive costs associated with implementing the current RCMP collective agreement. Due to the timeliness and importance of this matter, I hope you will take these requests seriously. And it's signed Dan Mazur, and it was actually addressed to the minister in charge, Minister Mendico. Any other questions or comments? Not, I'd like to thank you again for attending then. We will take a short recess and come back and go in camera. Thanks again.
Can we pass a resolution to go into camera right now, and then we don't have to?
We could, yeah.
Fire everything up?
And we, of course, need a resolution in that regard.
Just refresh. You should be able to see it right there. Just open it up.
There we go. Okay, resolution reads, be it resolved that pursuant to section 152 sub 3 of the Municipal Act, council should meet as a committee of the whole to close the meeting and continue discussions in camera regarding personnel matters, negotiations, and preliminary discussions. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Pierrepont, seconded by Councillor Foster. All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried. Be it resolved that pursuant to section 152 sub 4 of the Municipal Act, this meeting shall now be reopened to the public. Mover. Moved by Councillor Blosha, second by Councillor Foster. All in favor? That is carried. Okay, resolutions arising. Be it resolved that the Council of Swan Valley West agree to the proposed economic strategy to appoint Swan Valley residents to review and report back to the 4 municipalities through the G4 by November 15th, 2020 on the future of municipal involvement and based economic development, and that the appointed committee report to the G4 and only to the G4 with any questions or concerns. Be it further resolved that this Economic Development Review Committee operate according to the terms of reference attached as scheduled. Mover, please. Moved by Councillor Pierrepont, seconded by Councillor Blosha. Any discussion? Not, call the question. All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried. Anything further from anyone? Not, be it resolved that this meeting shall now adjourn at 10:14 p.m. Be it further resolved, next meeting is Tuesday. And that date is June 14th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Mover, please. Moved by Councillor, who is that?
Quick, his arm's getting tired from holding it up there.
Is that,
Come on, Charlie.
or is that Foster? Oh no, it's Foster. Moved by Councillor Foster, second by Councillor Kushniryk.
Yes.
All in favor? That is carried.